Yeah, hi YouTubers, I'm back for another one of these, what would have happened if this were in real life RhinoTMRT gameplay series YouTube videos. Now, I've been trying over and over again to get more of these done, like, I have one in mind for this week's, which is actually just a quick 13-minute, Wednesday a quick 13-minute YouTube video for today. And believe me, I have it in my head right here. I have it stored right here. So, yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a lot different or something like that, but I mean, it wouldn't necessarily matter now, would it? And well, technically it would. Well, technically, it wouldn't necessarily. Well, what I mean is that it wouldn't necessarily matter to not do like you kind of see the idea. I mean, it does necessarily, yeah. So it still matters, the idea that I'm doing all this, and yeah, I actually have one coming up right in here. Now, keep in mind, this is one of those another one of those prequel spin-off movie ideas, which of course I usually came up with those. The spin-off movie ideas that serves as also serves as like a prequel sequel, a prequel spin-off movie idea. And this is one that's been in my head since today for some odd reason. So yeah, I guess will be able to go start through all that. So yeah. This is what would have happened if the origins of the North Wind, a Penguins of Madagascar story movie, were in real life. Now we cut open to the beginning where, this is the what would have happened version of it. So yeah, just to make you all clear about all that. So yeah, we do cut open to the beginning where of course it's a lot more different. We see a much more we here there's sort of like we see the untold background between we see the untold backstory of how all the North Wind members from the Penguins of Madagascar movie met. And this one's actually quite a very great one, and how they go into different adventures, and it all leads up to the Dave the Octopus thing from the Penguins of Madagascar 1 version of the Penguins of Madagascar 1 movie. So, yeah, it will all lead up to those events, which I guess kind of does make a lot of sense. So, so here we see a much younger version of Classified. We see a much younger version of Classified in the prologue, where of course he doesn't have necessarily a lot of friends. And remember, remember the Classified in the Penguins of Madagascar. However we see a younger version of Classified who doesn't have that much of friends. Technically he does. Well, I mean, he does have friends while working with an organization that would be known as the North Wind. But this is sort of like a prequel to all that, and explaining about how he lost his parents, about how Classified lost his parents, and how they most of the North Wind members lost their parents and all that. So yeah, this is just how it's gonna go. And there's actually going to be an event in this movie that actually takes place during the prologue of the Penguins of Madagascar 1 movie. So yeah, just what like the very beginning of the Penguins of Madagascar 1 movie. It will tell what the North Wind was doing around that time, what all of them were doing around that time. So yeah, I'll be able to explain that one as well. So yeah, so we see a young Classified, and then we see a young Classified, and he's all like, man, I really wish I could lead the North Wind. Well, I mean, he does. Well, technically, he really wishes that he could lead the North Wind. When suddenly we see Classified's mom and Classified's dad come in, and they of course say, "Son, you will become a part of the North Wind one day." They're an organization that takes down evil animals and helps other good animals. I'm sure that they will accept you in there. So yeah, and then of course the next morning, the next year, the 1 year after that, we see classified saying that he going up to one of the North Wind officers and saying, "I want to become a part of the North Wind." So, and then of course he tells the North Wind officer's name classified, and then the North Wind officer says that he'd start his training. And then of course we cut open to a few couple of years later, long before a few couple of years later, a few couple of years later, and note that the Penguins of Madagascar, this would take place meaning that this would, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. What I'm trying to say is that a few couple of years later, after Classified gets into the North Wind becomes a part of the North Wind because of a North Wind officer. A few couple of years after that, we of course see Classified in fighting off an army of evil aliens, and what evil animal aliens of some kind, which I guess kind of does make a lot of sense. And then of course this takes place a few couple of years before, and then of course this new timeline takes place a few couple of years before the Penguins of Madagascar 1 prologue. So that's kind of the idea that I was going for with this. And then of course we see young Classified won a battle against the evil animal aliens. They of course the evil animal aliens that a young Classified actually meets, you guessed it, young corporal, and young all the other members of the North Wind that he would know. That, however, all this changes once Classified, now all grown up, actually meets the other members of the North Wind, which were a special sort of a team, that he would later lead in the first Penguins of Madagascar movie. And because I did the Penguins of Madagascar 2 movie, the Penguins of Madagascar 2 sequel movie idea, I did that one a long time ago, so doing this prequel spin-off movie idea is actually one of the best ones I could come up with. So yeah, I guess it kind of does make a lot of sense now that I think about it. So young Classified is all like, I've done everything I could. We need to keep moving forward throughout all this. But then most of the North Wind officers actually say no because the reason why is because they would lose so many more people before, so that's kind of the idea that's going for. And then of course we'd also get a Saving Private Ryan, a pop culture reference. Well, because because my first name's Ryan, so yeah, you kind of see the idea. And then of course, that's how the Classified meets the other North Wind members from the Penguins of Madagascar 1 movie. That's how he meets them, is that when, they get captured together, when they of course failed a mission, and then they tried to, and then they escaped, and then they became the main group of the North Wind. So yeah, I guess it kind of does feel very great, and yeah, so I guess that's how it is. So then we see Classified is all like, I really, really need to join forces with you to put an end to the evil animal aliens. So they of course both agree. They both stop a entire army of evil animal alien. They meet, where of course they meet, you guessed it, the villain of this movie, the evil animal alien king, who of course plans to control all the world and basically destroy it all, along with the North Wind. So yeah, that's sort of how it's going upon, and that's how I want it to be. And of course, they both agree to all this. The Classified does agree, and the North Wind members that he has agrees to go out there, but all the other ones disagree with him. However, Classified and the North Wind and his North Wind members, they eventually go to the evil animal alien planet, and then of course they go there. they of course go there. They of course go there. They go have an epic fight battle scene against the evil animal alien king, and then all the other Northwind members are actually all like, yeah, we should go help Classified and his Northwind members. So they all agree to go help him out, and in return they basically do a lot more. So it's kind of I mean, this is kind of just how I wanted the prequel spin-off movie idea to play out. And I guess that's just how it is because, I wanted it to look very different. I wanted it to feel very different. So, yeah, it kind of does make a lot of sense. So, of course, they have this big epic fighting battle scene. And then, of course, there's this one scene where this one Northwind officer actually crashes into an evil animal alien person crashes into an evil animal alien trooper, and actually they both crash into the main ship, into the main evil animal alien ship. The evil animal alien spaceship. So yeah, I kind of like this idea. So I kind of like this prequel spin-off movie idea, and it feels original. And then of course we see that they are like it, because I kind of like the idea. Now I haven't revisited the first movie yet. I mean, I have seen it, and I've already done a sequel movie idea for this one. So yeah, I guess it kind of does make sense. So classifying the Northwind members, they eventually retreat. They eventually say that they do not retreat, only that all the other Northwind members of each other, no, all the other Northwind member teams, they all, don't make it all out of that. However, Classified and the Northwind members, they all escape. They all escape the supposedly new planet, and then of course they head back. They head back with the information about 4 penguins that can help them take down Dave, and then the evil animal alien king eventually is put to an end, and thus he gets destroyed by them by falling to it, and because the evil animal alien king falls to his death. And then of course the Northwind and Classified and all of his Northwind members, they all celebrate, and now that they have put an end to the evil animal alien king, and then everything goes exactly perfectly good, and then we all have a perfectly good ending. So, and then that's it, the end. And then we get a post-credits scene where we see Dave the octopus, a much younger version of Dave the octopus, be like, and he sees the North Wind trying to destroy. He senses that the North Wind already put an end to the evil animal alien king, and then he's all like, "I will avenge you. I will finish what you started, evil animal alien king." And then that's it. And then that's how he says it. And then cut to black. He gives out an evil laugh. Now that was my take on the what would have happened if the origins of the Northwind Penguins of Madagascar movie were in real life. Now I kind of like this idea. It was so great, and it's the Penguins of Madagascar story one, and it kind of felt very great. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for today. Peace out. Bye bye.